So for the moment, we have one question from DMH of Myanmar, QQ Sing-sang. The question is to Dr. Hu. But I thought after Dr. Hu, maybe other participants, you could feel free to share your opinions and answers for this question. The question is, transport of PM 2.5 pollution, which atmospheric layer of wind should we consider? I repeat again, the question is, transport of PM 2.5 pollution, which atmospheric layer of wind should we consider? So if Dr. Hu, you are ready, please take the floor.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Dong. Thank you for the question. I think actually it depends on how large the area you are looking at. If you just check some neighboring cities or just within the city, I think the surface transport is the pollution which you should focus on. But if you look at a larger region, for example, the which I just mentioned, the BTH region, including more than 20 cities, and from province to province, I think the air pollution transport at a higher altitude should be checking. And we cannot forget that actually the surface transport also sometimes will be affected by a higher altitude level. So if we look at the region, the larger or smaller, we will check the surface and also the high altitude. And you can use some tools to simulate the transport. So actually the wind speed will change from time to time from different direction. So I hope it helps. Thank you. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you, Dr. Hu, for your answer. So since today is a very precious opportunity for all those valuable participants and scientists joining the meeting. So about this question, I'm not sure if other participants have some points to add. Okay, we see a raise of the hand from, I only have the name of Dr. Ms. Hasarata from Thailand. So please.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. I don't have any what is it, suggestion to add, but I have one more question to Dr. Hu. So since PM 2.5 is formulated from two ways, so they can occur from primary sources and also from the secondary sources as well. So in your study, you have also studied how much from the primary and how much from the secondary or not?
Yes, thank you for the question. Actually, about 5 years ago, for the BTH plus region, we have larger fraction of the primary particles, which is from like the household heating sources, and also some fugitive dust. And during the past decade, the Chinese government has a very strong control of the air pollution in these key regions. Now we can see that in the not only in the summertime but also in the winter time. Now we have a larger fraction of the secondary particles. For example, for Beijing city, during the pollution days, the secondary particles, including the nitrate, actually the nitrate contribute the largest part, and the nitrate, sulfate, and the secondary organic compounds, they will, and also the ammonia also, they will contribute like 60%. Or even higher fraction of the total PM 2.5 mass concentration. So actually now we switch to a secondary pollution, and along with the ozone pollution days. So we have to control these secondary particles and also the ozone at the same time. And so that's why we think the VOC, the volatile organic compounds, and also the NOx emissions are the key pollutants we have to control for the next 10 years, next decades. Okay, so that's all. Thank you.
So thank you for your answers. But however, when you would like to control the PM2.5 from the secondary pollutants, you may control the VOCs, NOx, and how about ammonia? You also have to control it or not. And yes, and PM2.5 is not when they increase, it's not because of the atmospheric reaction only, but it's also the condition of the meteorological condition. So in this case, to control effectively the PM2.5 from this process, how do you what is the best way to do?
Okay, that's good. Two good questions. The first one I'd like to answer is about ammonia control. Actually, for the BTH region, which I just mentioned, we have a pilot program for this 5 years plan from 2021 to 2025. We have the pilot program in this region to control the ammonia emissions from the agriculture industry, especially from the animals. So we will have the pilot program in some specific cities which have higher ammonia emissions. For example, the Baoding city, the Shizhuang city in Hebei province. So we just start the program. So we will see maybe in 2 or 3 years we will check how the effects. And another question is about how the pollution, PM2.5 pollution affected by the meteorological conditions. That's what we have actually experienced during the past 5 years. So now we have some temporary control measures which to shut down some high polluters in the unfavorable condition days. We call it heavy pollution weather days to shut down some high polluters. So it's very effective for the PM2.5, and it also has been conducted for several years. And we will do that in the next 5 years to control the heavy pollution of PM2.5 better. So we will see. I'd like to discuss more with you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the good question from our talent colleagues and answers from Dr. Hu. Considering the time, we currently have 3 questions on board, and also we have a raised hand from Ohala Sensei. So taking the time of the order for raising the hand, we will take the questions and answers each within 1 minute. And last, we would like to invite Ohala Sensei to share his question. So the first question we got is from Dr. Glomov. His question is to Dr. Ju of Korea. And the question is, what list of PAH and VOC is of the most important to monitor at the remote and regional sites of EANET or national networks? This question was typing in the chat box from NC to everyone. Dr. Chu, did you get the question? Dr. Chu, we cannot hear you. Maybe you are mute. Dr. Chu Jin-soo from Korea, can you hear us? Yeah, we have one question for you from our Russian colleagues, Dr. Glomov. Can you hear us? Dr. Chu, can you hear us? Okay. Okay, I see Dr. Chu's, okay. Dr. Chu's colleagues are helping us. Thank you so much. We have one question for Dr. Chu from our Russia colleagues. Can you hear us? I thought you are muted.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. The
Hello.
question was copied in the chat box.
Yeah, I know.
You can see that. Okay,
Yeah,
please.
I understand your question.
Okay, please.
Thank you for giving me a question to Korea. Generally, in Korea, we have some focusing point is the PAH is the main item is BTX. Especially this tolerant is the main interesting item because our Korea industry use much more use tolerant industry. So we have a PAH, especially BTX, especially and aromatic compound is a very interesting item. Some years ago, we have some uh, joint studies that we call it Course A2. That time also we have a find interesting results as especially aromatic hydrocarbon was a very high, have a much more potential, especially producing ozone. So we have interesting is naming tolerant, especially aromatic hydrocarbon. And then next question is more, I think as a nationwide monitoring network, we have just we report the one station data result, but we are operating national monitoring, especially remote site about five. We have five remote station, but and then I think it's the next, especially in the nationwide monitoring site, you need for in that remote and regional site. Main item is I'm not sure exactly the main. Wait more. 저게 뭐지? Oh, okay. I think as national monitoring is main monitoring is BVOC compounds is main item. Is that all? Thank you.
Thank you so much for your answer. And we appreciate the answers. And if we don't have the follow-ups for the question, we'd like to move to the next one. The question is from our colleagues named Vanessa Sarapipa. Maybe from Thailand. Yeah, and the question itself is about BVOCs. This question itself, I thought, is not for China, but for Japan, Korea, and other EANET countries. But it was quoted from Dr. Hu's presentation. Dr. Hu mentioned the BVOC have impact on ozone pollution over China. So this question is, how about the impact of BVOCs in Japan and Korea, as well as other EANET countries? And the second part of the question is, should this be monitored? This should be BVOC be monitored or not? Or emission inventory improved, investigated? So I think it's a pretty long question. We may copy this in the chat box for everyone now from NC. And maybe we'd like to invite answer first from Japan colleagues. So if any colleagues from Japan would like to answer this BVOC question first, or and other participants from Korea and other EANET countries, if you wish to answer for your country's situation, please just follow. Okay, so I see Akimoto Sensei is thinking. Do you have any valuable comments to share here? Please.
I remember any about
Kimoto Sensei, you are muted. Please turn on your microphone. Thank you.
Oh, is it now okay? Sorry. Yeah, I think the VVOC, biogenic VOC's monitoring is definitely important for the PM 2.5 variation. And that's, I think, no question. But for how does it important for ozone is somewhat questionable, and of course depends on the region to region. Generally speaking, of course, in the big cities, like mega cities, the VOC contribution should be much smaller than the anthropogenic VOCs. But even so, some modeling study shows that the surrounding VOCs emissions still has some impact on the urban ozone. That's I don't know how that the importance of VOC for the urban ozone has been proved experimentally by the observation. So if the Ohara-san can answer such kind of the importance of the VOC for the urban ozone, that would be helpful.
Okay, can you hear?
We can hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I would like to try to answer, but it is very difficult to answer. In Japan, in general, the VVOC is largely contributed to ozone production, especially in Tokyo metropolitan areas. Maybe that contribution is around 10% or 20% of daily maximum of ozone around Tokyo metropolitan areas. That is just estimated by the chemical transport model and emission inventory. But honestly speaking, there are large uncertainties in VVOC emission inventory. Maybe that is two times the range of uncertainties. So it is very important to improve the VVOC emission inventories in Japan. Maybe other countries is a similar situation, I think. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Ohara-san. And I thought it's also invited for our Korean colleague to answer the same question. Now it's copied in the chat box. So if Dr. Ju, you could share some of VOC situation in Korea. Dr. Ju, can you hear us? Yeah. And also, if Dr. Chu, before you answer, we have an add-up question from Dr. Keiichi Sato from the Network Center, also for you. In Korea, the blank test of PM 2.5 monitor is conducted at every station. The question is, in Korea, the blank test of PM 2.5 monitor is conducted at every station or not? So this question, together with the BVOC questions, if Dr. Chiu could share some of your answers and considerations, it will be appreciated. So Dr. Chiu, you have the floor.
최 박사님, Ms. Jung, can we have Dr. Who first and then move to the Korea?
박진수 박사님 들리세요?
네네.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
can hear you.
yeah. I have two questions. The second, I will answer the second question. Every site we have a blank test. 2 years, one times have a blank test using a gravimetric and then meta-array method comparing test. And then the first question is EVOC. Actually, Korea have some two approach method. First thing is using a smoke model, that kinds of model approach. And then next thing is using a sampling, using canister sampler, and then we analyze that. But this stage is initial stage though, but we have done much have research results. But actually we try to cannot have satisfactory research results not now, but we have develop more research, use EVOC results. But now main results we got, main result is using the model assessment. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Ju. I just heard Xu-san said Dr. Hu has some point added for this question. Yeah, please.
Hi, is that about the blank?
Blank, PM2.5 blank test monitor.
Sorry, I didn't catch the question. It's about the blank sample?
Okay, I thought I'm so sorry. I see some signs from the secretariat because of the time running out, and there are some time difference. So we copied these questions in the chat box, and this question is an open question, especially from Vanessa of Thailand. Share this question to all the EANET participants. So please kindly reply via email when you see these questions for you some of the valuable answers and comments after this session. So please refer to the question in the chat box now, and it will be appreciated for your sharing your very valuable replies after this meeting. Thank you so much.